Hey everyone, we are the Andson Foundation. We're trying to promote financial literacy to the high school age before going out to college and getting first jobs as adults and that sort of thing. And we're going to start with a very brief introductory lesson on needs versus wants, kind of the backbone of financial planning and really getting a grasp on these concepts, that we're going to be basing a lot of the curriculum and a lot of the speaking points on. So obviously both adults and teens have wants, and there's a lot of needs that we're going to have. And one of the best parts about being a teen is finally getting to start making some of those decisions for yourself. And of course, with your first job, you get to spend your own money. Now, we really want to tweak and adjust the way that teens are thinking about their funds, though. What we find is that when you're a teenager, you get to spend money as it comes in, and there's not a whole lot of thought that goes into it because those needs are being taken care of by your parents or whoever else you might be living with or getting help from. The problem is when you start making your own money and you are faced with those other expenses, you need to start spending differently. A very topical example is you see a BMW on TV. You see these leases that are $350 a month, and there's something to it signing, but who cares about that, right? Well, in reality, if you look at your overall, you make $8 an hour, 40 hours a week, 4 weeks a month, that's $12.80 a month. You're single, you're not getting a lot taken out for taxes. Maybe you can afford that BMW for $350. But then there comes the other expenses, stuff like insurance, gas, the maintenance on the vehicle alone, oil changes, tires, and brakes, your parking, registration. And those are only the absolute necessities. What happens with tickets? What happens with accidents? So there's a lot more that goes into it than just affording the bottom line. The other thing is you might be able to afford a lot more considering of where you live right now. What happens when you move out or you start to incur additional expenses other than just the car payment? So there's definitely some things to think about. You got to remember that adults here, we have wants too. The main issue is how we plan for those wants. It's not an easy task by any means. As we get older, our needs change, and we in fact need a lot more. So it may be pretty easy to have a cell phone right now that's $60, $75 a month when you've got someone else that's helping you with those other expenses, such as your food, the place that you're staying, and that sort of thing. What happens when you move out? Well, all of a sudden, we need to start thinking of the true reasoning behind the purchases we make. With most of our wants, there is some sort of need behind it. If we can get to the actual need, not only will we save ourselves a lot of stress about keeping up with those norms that are being put out there by the media, but also we're going to be a lot more effective in our shopping and our budgeting and that sort of thing going forward. So what is it that we really need? Well, let's look at our utility bills alone. Utilities when you move out, you're going to have water, electric, gas, trash bills. That's not even including internet, cable, phone, some of the things that you may be used to already having. Now, obviously those may be a little bit different depending on where you stay, but those are all things that you need to think about. When you think about going out those additional times this month or buying that new outfit or that new gadget, what other bills do you have? Well, there's also insurance. As you get older, you've got to start thinking about yourself, you've got to start thinking about family. So health insurance, car insurance, rental insurance, if you own or rent a home, you're going to have property insurance. These things add up. And then there's unplanned expenses. There's all sorts of things that we don't budget for that, going to someone's birthday party, Christmas presents, holidays, baby showers, and those are just the fun things. What happens when things go wrong, those unexpected expenses that you're going to have to plan for in life? So when you think about all the things that you really want, maybe we can pull the needs out of there. So instead of the latest and greatest cell phone, we need reliable communication. Instead of having the brand new car that's going to get the most looks, let's look at safe, reliable transportation. Instead of going out that additional time with your friends this month, maybe you guys could eat in, maybe you could choose a more cost-effective way of socializing and eating. And so when we are able to pull the real needs out of those associated wants, we're going to be a lot better as financial planners for ourselves and for our loved ones. And at the end of the day, it makes life so much easier just having real tangible goals in terms of what you're going to be purchasing and your purchasing power when you start to make your own money. So those are just some things we wanted you to think about. Again, this is kind of like a cornerstone for everything we're going to be teaching going forward. If you have any questions, comments on the lessons, feel free to contact us, www.andson.org or info@andson.org. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks again.